Well, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday, and unfortunately, this one is going to probably make it much less happy. We saw a video, most of us have seen the video on Twitter and then all over the internet of a thug kicking an old woman. I've since learned she is 78, and we have multiple people that you can see in the video. And no, I will not play the video. This screenshot should be enough to show you how bad it was, but I have watched it. And there are people that you can see standing around recording and doing nothing, even when he walks away. Now, I can tell you that he's been apprehended. If you follow NYPD detectives, then you'll know he is going to be charged. And the video itself shows there's no provocation like for an attack like this. What I want to talk about, though, is some of the feedback I've gotten in comments I've made. I've seen comments like, there's a reason this doesn't happen in states like Texas or Oklahoma, and there is. Criminals down here always have to ask who might have a firearm. And I responded that he's better be glad there weren't Texans like me on that train. And of course, instantly I start getting told that NYC gun laws are not that bad. Instantly I start getting called uh, a, a bully or whatever. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you just step right up and shoot an unarmed black man. Let me tell you something. The screenshot right here, just this screenshot, that kick could end her life. If he goes for the sternum, it could crack a rib and puncture a lung or her heart. If he kicked her in the head, cracked skull, or possibly just death from hitting the wrong place, could snap her neck. Now, I don't know New York gun laws because I don't live in New York. I actually have no plans to travel to New York for pretty much the rest of time, unless I see they grow up and have leaders who understand the Constitution. But yes, I would draw, and I would be yelling on the ground now. He turns to me and he doesn't back down and he starts trying to attack me. I've already been shown by his actions that he is willing to kill because the attack on this woman could have killed her. Some of the shots I saw in the video really should have done more damage than I hear they have. So, this is a man who doesn't value life. I don't care who you are, black, white, yellow, and red polka dot. You attack someone the way this thug attacked this elderly woman with zero regard for whether she would die due to that attack or not. And you have proven that I need to use a force multiplier to stop you. Now, I will tell you, having been law enforcement, I worked for my local sheriff for a little over a year before I decided firefighter was more in line with what I want to do. But having served on the fire department and hearing the stories from the police, the threat of force, more often than not, will de escalate a situation. You draw a firearm, police officer draws a firearm, and they're aiming it at you. You're going to think, I don't want to die. And you're going to stop. Those who don't are either so drugged out or so high on their own BS, they don't care about life and death. And to save another's life, yes, I would act. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I pray every day I walk out of this house with my firearm on my body. I pray constantly I never even have to touch it until I get home and I secure it and it's safe. Because I know, had this happened where I could see and I draw, and if I have to shoot, it's going to destroy me psychologically, even just for a time. I'm going to have to go through a trial probably. And that's not something I want, ever. But this headline accurately shows everything, not something, everything wrong in America today. You have thugs like this who honestly don't see anything wrong with a brutal attack on an elderly woman. He had no problem walking past people he saw recording him, which showed his face. And those people did nothing. I know for a fact that several people in my life, smaller than me, and I'm a big dude, but they're small, would have bum rushed this dude. Hell, if I just walk up and just say something, I'm not showing my firearm, and he bows up to me, he's going to get a size 12 right in his stomach. He's going to get a size 12 to the common peroneal nerve. He'll feel like his leg has been broken. And then he's going to get a bent arm bar where his right arm scratches his left ear behind his back, and I'm going to be on the phone with my other hand to police saying I'm on whatever train I'm on or I'm wherever I am, and I have a suspect or I have a criminal in my custody who has just assaulted an elderly woman multiple times. And then I'm going to hold him there. He will be in intense discomfort, but he will not be injured in any way. And then when the police get there, I will remand him to their custody and I will answer their questions. But we have an entire planet today, an entire parts of our country that don't act. They refuse to act. Looking at this article, I can identify completely with this writer. Growing up, I didn't lock my doors. I am the one that he hears talk of when I was a kid. We didn't lock our doors. I can remember very clearly living out in the country as well as when we moved into town. We didn't lock our doors. The only door you couldn't really get to was the door from the garage to the home because the garage door was down because we didn't want cats or dogs or whatever getting into our garage. But we went from unlocked doors, to high tech security in a matter of 20 years. It's just nuts. And yes, New York, Virginia, they've declared babies open up to the moment of birth. We have just horrible stories right and left all the time. And I will link this article in the description so that if you want to view the video, because it is linked here. And look at this. We got a guy shaking my head. Got to be the worst thing ever. Shaking my head. But not doing anything. If it's the worst thing ever, step up. Yeah, I've said it before, and I will say it again. I am of the Mr. Miyagi school of thought. It's not good to fight. Somebody always gets hurt. Normally, both people or all involved get hurt. You know what? I'll take a black eye. I'll take a fat lip. I'll take a lost tooth to stop a thug like this from beating up an elderly woman. That is someone's wife, mother, daughter, grandmother, friend. The people just standing there, I guarantee they'll talk big. You don't talk about my mama, but right here, we have them standing by while someone's mama, someone's friend, daughter, grandmother is assaulted by a thug. When you do something like this, you lose all ability to say, I have to respect you, because I don't. This is one of the very few things that there is no tolerance in me for, and that's violence. And for those who want to ask, oh yeah, Big Ben, you just going to walk right up? I already have. More than once. Even way back in high school. I was walking through the halls of my high school at 17 years old. Saw this guy, all he was doing was leaning in, trapped with a girl trapped against the locker. She couldn't get out from his arms, and he was leaning in trying to kiss her, and she was trying to get away. I walked up, pulled him off. He looked like he wanted to throw a punch, but there were too many teachers around. She went to class. He bowed up outside the next time we saw each other. He landed a hit. Nice sucker punch. And then he got some in return. I've watched for a split second as I see a man slap his supposed girlfriend, wife. I never found out who she was. All I know is he got a rude awakening that you don't do that. Yeah, and he cried that I had no business. And I looked him square in the face. You strike a woman who's not trying to injure you, then you lose all reason to believe I will listen to you again. You need to walk away. And yes, I am calling police. You can stick around if you want to. Because she was bleeding from the slap. And luckily, a few other people had her surrounded so he couldn't get to her. And I've joked, I can give you the look that I'm going to rip your head off, spit down your neck, follow you to hell, and laugh while Satan tortures you. But I can do that look. I've learned it well. And I learned it I perfected it, I'll say, while I worked for the jail. And psychology is 80% of a fight. Technique is 10. and being willing to get injured is the other 10. But if I can make you believe that I will do anything and everything I want in a fight, if I can get in your head, you're going to back down. I walk up to this guy. He throws a punch. I'll kick him in the gut. He throws another. I've got him on the ground thinking I broke his femur. That's all minimal stuff. Not even going to bruise. But I'm in his head. And he stops. He bows up with a weapon. I respond with mine. I'm in his head. He don't back down. I act. And 20 years ago, just 20 years ago, late 90s, this would not have flown. This would not have been tolerated. One kick, one slap, one move by him against her, and New Yorkers would have swarmed him like rats coming out of the sewer. They'd have had him down under 30 people waiting on the cops to get there and sort out the dog pile so that they could get to the thug who attacked an older woman. Now, they're so afraid that he'll sue them for assaulting him in the process of stopping a brutal assault on a helpless woman that they stand around and record. And yeah, I know they're going to say, well, I was afraid I'd get hurt and I'd hurt her in the process, so I was recording so the police could find him. I don't care about getting hurt. And I know I'm going to protect her because I'm going to drag him to the other side of that train, or I'm going to knock him straight through those doors, get him away from her. I'm going to do what is the right thing. I'm going to protect life. I'm going to protect those who cannot protect themselves. My name should tell you that. I literally chose a job where my job description was run into burning buildings as opposed to away from them. And I've done it. Would still be doing it if I hadn't gotten hurt. But another part of that is also just the protection of those around me. I can guarantee you, I see this guy getting his butt kicked, and he's down on the ground, not fighting back. I'm going to knock his attacker to the ground. We see videos of people who get in a fight, and then they jump on top of the person who's down and keep beating them. As soon as the person is not a threat, and she never was a threat to him, but as soon as the person is not a threat, you stop. Watch a boxing match or an MMA fight, or any of them that are not WWE style scripted. When they go down, even before the ref is saying go to your corner, you can see them stopping, lowering their arms, backing up a little bit. And yeah, a lot of it is they're tired, they want to start the count. And yes, MMA is a little different. They knock the guy down, they might put him in a submission hold or whatever. But still, they don't just start beating the living tar out of the guy that's down and no longer a threat. This thug is going to go to jail. This video should be an open and shut case right now. And when he gets somewhere like Rikers, I've commented, I would love for this video to go viral on TV so the thugs at Rikers who do get to watch the news see this, hear his name. He gets to Rikers, you like to beat up women? There's very few things that criminals will not tolerate. There is what's called honor among thieves. But there's very few things that even that doesn't cover. Assault of children and assault of the elderly is top of that list. You let one of the inmate bosses of Rikers, or wherever he ends up, find out he beat the tar out of an old woman who couldn't fight back. He'll be in single cell isolation for his entire time there for his safety. And I like that idea. I don't want him brutalized, but if he has to go to single cell segregation, where you get your hour or two in the gym alone, you don't get to watch TV, you don't get all the privileges because it's not safe for you, that's going to make your time living hell. And it's no less than this idiot deserves. But I've talked long enough. Let me know what you think. Like always, keep the comments civil. Keep them classy. We can debate. I don't engage with people who just instantly jump to emotional attack. I just don't, because there's no point. Pardon me. As always, also make sure to like and subscribe. That way you can stay up to date I'm still working on some outlines and some ideas, as well as gathering information for my non-news reaction plans. And I'm getting closer, but these are things that I really want, I really have to prepare for. I'm not able to just off the cuff it like I can with responses. But until then, make sure to stay safe, make sure to have some fun, tell your family you love them, and we'll continue next time.